Bags down, spikes on. Welcome to the track. My name's Colin Weitzman, going to be your host for this episode of Track World News. And we have a bunch of things to go over, some old housekeeping things that have happened in the past we'd like to revisit, as well as some pretty interesting news regarding the upcoming season. Outdoor schedule has finally been announced, and I'm very excited to talk about what we're looking for with the 2021 season, as the 2020 season was almost a wash. And we're also going to look back at that because we do have the announcement of the Female Athletes of the Year, as well as this indoor season and how problematic it's been, and why I'm really frustrated about the way that especially the NCAA has handled it. So we're going to go over all that and more, starting with the Female Athlete of the Year. So we have just been announced, I think it was late last week, the 5 finalists for the Female Athlete of the Year. And just like the men's side, I got 4 out of the 5 athletes correct. So the 5 finalists are Lesenbet Gidey of Ethiopia, Sifan Hassan of the Netherlands, Perez Jepchirchir of Kenya, Yilmar Rojas of Venezuela, and then to finish it off is Elaine Thompson Herth of Jamaica. So I still think, even after these 5 finalists, that who I predicted to win of Lesenbet Gidey from Ethiopia is the favorite. To go over briefly all of their stats, notoriety, what they did this previous year. So Lesenbet Gidey, she set the world record in the 5K, as I had mentioned, and was second in the 5K at Wanda, the Diamond League meet in Morocco. Sifan Hassan of the Netherlands, she won the world record in the hour run. She ran 8,930 meters. When you say it out loud, like, it sounds like a lot. Like, geez, 18,000. I'm sorry, did I say 8,000? Yeah, 18,930 meters in an hour. I mean, shoot, 8,000 still seems like a lot to me. She also set the European record over the 10K with 29 minutes, 36 seconds, 0.67 milliseconds, and was the 4th fastest time of all time. Perez of Kenya, she won the half marathon this year, and she also broke the world record in the half marathon twice. She broke it once in an hour and 5 minutes, and then in 34 seconds, and then an hour, 5 minutes, and 16 seconds. So very impressive 2-time world record breaker. Yilmar Rojas of Venezuela, undefeated in the triple jump, broke the indoor world record with a jump of 15.43 meters. Then we have, to close it out, is Elaine Thompson Herth of Jamaica. She was undefeated in the 100 meters and ran the world leading time in 10.85. I say she's the favorite for the female 100 meters, obviously, going into 2021. But a fairly stacked group for the ladies. I mean, there's a couple different ways that you can go with this. I'm sticking to my guns with Gidey, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Perez win it. She broke 2 world records in the half marathon. She's doing very well this year. It's really strong for all of them. I think that Elaine is probably the weaker point of this, which is crazy to say, that someone that's undefeated over 7 races and ran a world lead is one of the weaker points. But everyone else here set world records, which it's hard to go against. Even no matter how fast you run, when you're going up against people that have set world records, it's really difficult. So if I'm saying top 5 from 5 to 1, 5 being least likely to win, 1 being most likely to win. So if you saw anything on to bet, this is where I put my money. So the least likely I say to win, Elaine Thompson. Sucks. She's one of the best sprinters that we have. But you're going up against a very, very strong case of females here. Next, I'm probably going to go with Sifan Hassan for 4th, mainly because the hour run, the hour race, isn't something that is standard that people run nowadays. It's not an Olympic event, And so I think that people will see, hey, that's a world record, yes, but it's not as ran of an event, so the world record probably isn't as high as or as difficult to complete as like a mile, where there's thousands and thousands of people that run that all the time, and so the difficulty is much higher compared to the hour event. So I would say probably her fourth. Then I would say probably Yulmar Rojas, only because she's only competed in 4 competitions over the course of these years, over the course of this year. She did break the indoor world record, very impressive, but she only competed 4 times. So people probably would have loved to see her compete a little more. Then I have Perez, half marathon title, broke the world record twice, 2-time world record breaker, so you have to have it up there. And then Gidey I have as my favorite for winning. Everyone's very impressive when it comes to the races this year. So you could go with almost anyone, but those are the 5 that I have. And the competition or the award show will be happening December 5th. So if you would like to tune in, you can. Sonia Richards-Ross is going to be hosting, which is fantastic because she is actually, if you watched the 2 episodes ago, I believe, she won the Female Athlete of the Year at the youngest age in 2006, and Gidey has the possibility of doing that right now, breaking her youngest to ever win it record. So it could be cool, a little moment in history there. So we'll have to see. Next, very excited for 2021. The Diamond League calendar has officially been released. You can check on, I'm seeing this on CBC, but they released a tentative schedule for the meets starting in May. So first we have Rabat, May 23rd, Doha on the 28th, Rome, June 4th, Oslo on the 10th, Stockholm on the 4th of July, Monaco, July 9th. You can go look at it later. But then obviously the biggest one that I'm very excited for, hopefully I can make it out. It's the only, I believe, American race on the calendar. It is Eugene on August 21st. That is, I believe, the Prefontaine Classic, which is coming back for the first time in 2021. So that's going to be exciting to see it coming back. Next, they're going to then be having a large break in August because they're going to be doing the Olympics, obviously. So there's a little bit of a break in between July 13th and August 14th as everyone is going to be doing the Olympics. So it's great to see 14 meets coming out for this upcoming season. They did mention that they are subject to change depending on what's going on with the pandemic, obviously, at that point. So this is the provisional schedule. Obviously, right now, international travel is difficult when it comes to being able to go from one place to another, so we'll have to see. And I believe this previous year ended in September, like early September 8th or 9th was Zurich. So it's going to be going from September till May. It's a fair enough all season. Well, so we'll see who does really well. I'm excited. We finally have some track. Obviously, you're noticing that there is no indoor competitions being announced. I haven't seen any indoor competitions be announced, and it stinks. We're probably not going to see an indoor year because the pandemic's just difficult for indoor facilities. And so, yeah, we don't have anything with that as of right now. I'll keep you guys updated if we have anything going on for indoor track, but at this current time, nothing has been announced. So we'll have to see what's going on with that. Still haven't seen anything for the United States in regards to USATF indoor meets. Nothing really so far. And that brings me to an area that has really kind of been upsetting for me. And that is the NCAA's handling of indoor track and field in winter sports. So the NCAA, right now, college basketball's a go. All the college basketball teams, essentially all the college basketball teams are starting. They have no fans in the stands, but they're able to compete in basketball and all that stuff. As if nothing's wrong. I think the players might have to wear masks while they're sitting on the stands or sitting on the benches, and they're spread out and all that stuff. And the coaches have to wear masks, but they're able to play. and they're able to compete. And we can't say that for many college track athletes right now. Right now, a lot of college tracks have canceled their season. We saw the NEC, my home conference, canceled their college championships. We saw just a week and a half ago, which is where I'm bringing this back up, I missed it last week, was the Atlantic 10, which is George, Mason, Rhode Island, Davidson, some big time schools that are going to be Fordham, George Washington, LaSalle, all these schools. They just announced they're canceling their indoor track and field championship, and most likely the swimming and diving is going to be going down next. That's another Division I conference that's going down. But what's funny to me and what's wild to me is that these conferences are still competing in basketball. So they said it's fine to have these college basketball players doing this. It's fine to let them compete. It's okay. It's safe enough. We can figure out a way to make it safe so that these basketball players are able to compete in their sport. Okay. But it's not safe for track and field. You're not able to compete in track and field indoors. What's the problem here? Obviously, we know what the problem is. It's not a safety issue, because if this was a safety issue, then we would know that we wouldn't be able to have basketball. And this is annoying to me because the Atlantic 10 commissioner, and I quote, said, "Not made lightly, and the athletic officials officially weighed the health and safety of coaches, staff, and student athletes as the COVID-19 pandemic continues." So you're saying that it's an issue due to the safety of the student athletes during the COVID-19 pandemic. Great. If that's a true problem, then why are you playing basketball? Why are you allowing student athletes to be even more close contact than on a track? There are so much more instances of athletes coming into contact with each other on a basketball court than there are on a track. The only instance of athletes coming in contact with each other during a track and field meet would be like the 400 on the last lap of it, the mile distance races where you're actually close to each other. Otherwise, you're in your own lanes, or you're the only person competing if it's a jumping event. And so it's not a safety issue, it's a money issue. And we've known this from the jump, but people are lying to our sport saying that it's a safety issue when we clearly know it's not that. It's a money issue because you have these meets or these competitions, these basketball games being broadcast on ABC, Fox, ESPN, all that stuff. You have these deals and you don't want to get those people mad. It has nothing to do with safety. Because if it was safety, then basketball wouldn't be competing either. But basketball is competing, so what's the real issue here? Bing, 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 it's money. Track and field doesn't bring anything. That's why you're canceling the season. So don't act like we're children. We don't understand. We know what the issue is here. And it's super frustrating that we're told one thing, but it's super clear that it's another one. And we're just having all of these competitions being canceled on us. Teams are being cut, and it's all in the name of COVID. Yes, COVID is an issue, and I completely agree with it. That it's a serious pandemic issue, but you're using it as an excuse to cancel our sports when you're not canceling the other sports that are bringing in money because you have them bringing in money, such as basketball or football. And yeah, of course you're not going to cut those teams. It makes sense because they're bringing in money. You can't cut them. But you're using this instance, this world pandemic, as a reason for you to cut a sport that you're like, finally we can get rid of this thing, and now we have a reason to do it. And it's so frustrating from our side to see that happen, because all these student athletes put in years and years of work to be canceled, and you're like, yeah, it's a safety issue. We don't want you guys to get sick. All right, now make sure you cheer on our team while we play basketball against the exact same teams that we said it's too dangerous to go compete against. You're lying to our face. You're lying directly to our face. And it's really frustrating for me. Because if it's I've said this 10 times, but if it's a safety issue, then don't let anyone play. If it's not a safety issue, then let them play. Because you could compete in a safe environment. I believe it was my second episode. I even gave out ways that I think you could have safety, and those precautions were even more rigorous than what they're doing in basketball. And like it doesn't make any sense to me why we're doing what we're doing with these kids. You're just playing with their emotions, and it's not right to me. It's not right. And so I want the NCAA to fix this, because it's just straight lying to these kids. You're lying right to their face, saying it's one thing when it's clearly another. And that's my soapbox. So hopefully things will get fixed, but we're looking forward to seeing some change. Looking forward to outdoors coming soon. Want to see how that season goes. See if they decide that there's going to be any indoor meets. Will the NCAA have any indoor meets? I know some schools have things going on. Usually for NCAA, those meets don't happen until January anyway. By now, we still wouldn't have had any meets. It's November. There usually would be one or two track meets happening in the middle of December. I think like December 13th or 14th would be when meets would be normally happening. Yeah, we would probably see something happening most times. What is it, like the week of the 11th? So not this week, but next Friday we would normally see meets. So we'll see if anybody has anything going on, inter squad, whatever, and then we'll see in January where we're at indoor wise. I don't know if we're gonna have anything. I strongly doubt it, because it looks like they're just trigger happy to cancel every indoor track meet on this side of the world, and it's disappointing. It's disappointing to see. So fingers crossed we're gonna have some more indoor track, because I've been missing it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite season. I like indoor a lot more than outdoor. I'll probably get into that at some point, and there's probably a lot of people that would have a lot of things to say against it, but that's my piece. So thank you for listening to another episode of Track World News. It's been great. Hopefully we'll have some better news for you guys in the future. If you like this episode, make sure that you follow us on Instagram. We have a lot of different news going on. If you like to see the visuals of this show, you can follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube at Track World News as well. We have other clips and things going up there. So have a good one. See ya, and peace.